full tank of gas. Haters trying to stop me cause I'm moving too fast. I stay rolling on my grind with my money on my mind cause I'm riding, y'all. I'm riding fast, approaching red line. I'm ready to blow. Ballin' till I'm falling, I ain't trying to move slow. Play a holler at you later.
Yeah, Richard 10 Shadow Riders, listen. Yo, I'm on the top of the game. Hard body on top of these lanes. Switching gears in the Maserati. Driving insane as fly as can be. Giovanna rim size 23. Shit, I'm as high as can be. Ladies call me handsome. Way before I did the Shadow Riders anthem. Now I'm sitting in the Black Phantom. More than they can handle. I play the ball hard in the car, cause it's coming out the front panel. What you know about that? But I ain't TIP, I'm RIC, K5. I show you how to stay fly in the daytime. With Shadow Riders on my side, hopping up the G-Ride, I stay live. The boy wonders, not a talk of the town. Toasted up, never boast, yeah, I'm holding it down. Gunning for now, these tough Burger King niggas coming through steady, keeping the crown. While I'm in the fruit punch jag, popping up, riding around. Believe me, dog, this is real as it sounds. Shit.
Shadow Riders Ignitions.
You are now listening to the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show. All about the JDM life.
Shadow Riders, baby.
What's up? Welcome to another edition of the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show. I'm your host, Shadow Riders Alpha, coming at you with another one. Today's going to be a great show, so don't you go nowhere. We'll be right back. For all my aspiring musicians and music artists out there, make sure you go check out digitalnomadmusician.com, where we focus on living the life of your dreams as a musician, traveling, and never having to worry about money. So if this sounds like something that interests you, make sure you go check it out. Digital Nomad Musician. Want to learn the ins and outs of the cryptocurrency game? Well, join the Bitcoin Billionaire Brigade on Facebook. Learn tips and tricks of how to manage and grow your Bitcoin and cryptocurrency portfolio. And who knows, you just might be the next Bitcoin billionaire. Join now and make sure you smash that like button. There's blood in the streets. The Bonanjoke quality of life is in shambles. The balance of peace on Synergius is in a chaotic mess. The good guys are dropping like flies. Potential new warriors are frightened to death to take a stand. And then Phantom shows up, fearless and defiant. Brace yourself as Phantom charges forward in the most highly anticipated sci-fi story of all time, Phantom Force: The Awakening, available on Amazon Kindle. Get your copy today. Hey guys, did you know that Shadow Riders is the #1 JDM Car Culture community on the internet? You did it? Well, now you do. Make sure you go check out shadowriders.com. That's SHADDOWRYDERZ.com. Check out the hottest JDM news, events, culture, music, and more. So go check it out. shadowriders.com.
You are now listening to the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show. All about the JDM life.
Shadow Riders, baby.
All right, welcome back to the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show. Good to have you guys back in the building with me today. I want to get something off of my chest, but before I do,
I just want to say thank you once again to all our listeners worldwide. Thank you for making this podcast something that you listen to on a daily basis. Really appreciate you. And I want all my Shadow Riders worldwide to continue to like and share these podcasts with your friends. Leave comments and subscribe to the podcast wherever you are, wherever you download. It really, really helps us out. So, getting right into it. I know you guys been waiting. I got to get something off my chest, man. I'm going to tell you this story. So, the other day, I was watching on YouTube a video from Hoonigan Focus from Larry Shin, the really popular JDM Culture photographer, right? He's interviewing the owner of Unplugged Performance as they are about to go on Pikes Peak, the legendary mountainous course that people run time attacks on. It's an uphill course, and it taxes the best tuned race cars because it's an uphill time attack, and it's 10,000 feet up in elevation above sea level. So the racers, the guys who are drivers, they have to have oxygen masks because you can't breathe up there really good, and you have to make sure that the driver can get oxygen so he won't black out when he's driving, when he's hitting those turns, because they're going at extremely fast speeds, and these are mountain passes. So if you fall off, you tumbling thousands of feet down to your death in that car. And so they did a time attack in a Tesla Model 3 Performance, right? And the thing looks JDM styled, because the owners of Unplugged Performance, they are huge JDM fans. And so, to my point of this podcast, the interviewer Larry, he's talking about the way that JDM culture is in trouble because everybody sees the writing on the wall. EVs, or electric vehicles for short, are starting to take over the market. And the thing that is scaring a lot of JDM enthusiasts and just car enthusiasts in general is the fact that these EVs, they do everything for you. There's no manual shift. There's no motor sound. There's no exhaust. The computer is doing most of the driving for you, and it takes away the car experience a lot when you got this electric vehicle that's doing everything for you. There's no knobs. There's no interaction with the car as it used to be with gas powered race cars. And so, as they were getting ready to go up Pikes Peak, what I noticed and what the interviewer Larry Chin with Hoonigan Focus was talking about was this car was heavily tuned, right? They had stripped the insides out. It was they had a roll cage in it. They had custom suspension, tires, brakes. The inside was, there were no seats in there. All they had in there was a bucket seat for the race car driver, and the steering wheel was custom, and they had gutted out as much of the computer components as they could. They had took a lot of weight off of the car. They had special carbon fiber body parts to keep the weight down on the car. It was heavily tuned. It looked very JDM. And they took stuff off of the car, and over time, from trial and error, the more stuff you take off the car, the computer that's on board doesn't like that, so it'll shut down the car. So they had went through all the trial and error. They had oxygen tank for the driver, and they had something like a NOS tank that they used to do. they have to have an intercooler for the battery pack under the car, because at extreme speeds, the car is pushing out a lot of power, a lot of horsepower in electric form, and so it overheats. The battery pack underneath overheats, and when it overheats, the car loses power, just like a ICE car, a gas powered car. It loses power, it loses horsepower. So they have to have this special rig in the car, and it's like a lever they have to pull, and it releases coolant into the battery system while the racer is racing to drop down the temperature of the battery pack so that they can squeeze out some more horsepower as they're going uphill. And they had an extra gauge or two in the heads-up display to give more information about what's happening with the car. And they had custom add-ons to the software of the car, so when the driver was on the screen, he had different readouts that he was hitting. And he had special gloves that were touch sensitive, so he could have his racer gloves on and still touch the screen and, input commands. But it was really interesting to see the time attack race. I mean, because he was hitting turns. The first time they went, he actually crashed, and they had to rebuild the car right there on the spot. They had 48 hours to rebuild the Model 3 in time to still qualify for the time attack. So they had to order there's it's not a lot of parts, aftermarket parts for Teslas. So they had to actually go purchase another spare car. They had to go find another Model 3 Tesla in the area that they could buy and bring to Pikes Peak, strip it down for parts, and replace all the damaged parts that were on the car that they crashed. And they had to race again with a newly built Tesla. So they had to call Tesla. They had mechanics come down from Tesla and around the way. It was just like you would see something you would see in a JDM event. Like, it's something that, like a competitive JDM drift battle. If they wreck the car, they have to have parts on site to fix it. Well, they had to do that. And it was very exciting. It was cool to watch because they're making history, really, because it gives some type of a hope that JDM culture won't die. And so the title of this podcast, I want to call this, "Will the EV Apocalypse Be the Death of JDM Car Culture?" So I was happy to see that thanks to performance companies like Unplugged Performance, JDM culture will live on, and it will evolve, and it will adapt to the changing climate as we make a move from petrol or gas-powered engine cars over to electric vehicles or electric powered cars. And we're going to see more and more transition over to where you have all these aftermarket parts for EVs, because these EVs can compete with gas powered cars. I just saw a time attack. Even though a BMW is not a traditional JDM, it's not Japanese, but there's, just go to YouTube and you can see tons of time attacks and battles against, gas powered cars and the Model 3, or gas powered cars and the Model S Performance, and they're killing it. I mean, the 0 to 60, it wins. The 0 to 100, it wins. The track battle, it wins. They had one category for driftability. So the Tesla Model 3 drifts. It drifts. You got to get the performance package, right? Because they set things up, and it's the software that controls the all-wheel drive. You have to turn track mode on so it'll let go of the ABS. but it's there. You can actually drift a gosh darn EV, and it was very pleasing to see it drift. It was like, it was a little shaky, it was like, the guy that was driving it that I saw today that was drifting the Model 3, he wasn't a very good driver. He wasn't a pro driver. But somebody who's a professional drifter or who's a seasoned drifter, they're going to be able to find a sweet spot where the Model 3 drifts really well. So these EVs are competing on all fronts. I didn't even think it was possible. I'm so used to seeing the gas-powered engines with the loud engine. The only difference is it's so quiet. It's doing this time attack up Pikes Peak, and it was very exciting to watch. So, like, I invite you guys to go Google it. Just Google Model 3 Pikes Peak run with unplugged performance. Just put that in, and you'll see. The driver that they had, he's like a real seasoned driver. He's been in the game for a long time, pro driver, and he runs that course, and it is very exciting. See, but the only thing, they had a camera inside the car as he's racing. You hear the whirling of the electric motors, but you hear like everything else that's happening out on the road, like the gravel, the wheel spin, the brakes when they engage. It's very different. It's a very different. It makes you feel more connected to the environment outside and the landscape and the trees and everything that you're passing by. You feel connected to all of that because there's no loud engine sound. So all your senses are taking in everything else. So it took a while to get used to that. And the guy was like, it's not loud enough. You need to have some type of synthetic engine sound so people can hear you before you get to the corners and turn, because usually people can hear the car coming from, 100 meters away. You can hear the engine coming, so okay, there's a car coming, let me get out of the way. You can't really hear that with the Model 3 because it doesn't have a loud roaring engine. The electric engines don't make loud sounds. There's no exhaust. It's not reverberating. So they were like, maybe like some type of a horn you can blow or some type of protocol like that. That takes a while to get used to because you're used to the loud sounds. You're used to the revving engine. You're used to the fireworks out the back of the exhaust. You're used to hearing that, but you don't hear that. But the car still performs hellaciously like a gas powered car. It exceeds a lot of those things, but the JDM part ain't there. And so I want to say, like, to talk about the apocalypse of the EVs, we got to have more competitive offerings from Japanese automakers, right? Like, I know Nissan has a Nissan Leaf. That's not even as exciting as a Tesla Model 3 or Model S Performance or the Roadster or, like that. The Honda's has an Insight. Man, that's boring. Super boring. Toyota, I don't even know what Toyota got. So all my Japanese brands out there, I love y'all to death, but y'all gotta Mitsubishi, Suzuki, Honda, Toyota, Lexus, Nissan, Infiniti. Y'all gotta come with some sexy, super tuned, performance spec electric vehicles that you guys come out with, so we can take those and we can tune those and we can keep JDM culture alive if gas-powered engines die out, because everybody knows it's bad for the environment, but we still love them though. It's nothing like driving a gas-powered car and hearing that sound and tuning it. That's timeless, man. So and I know with the electric vehicles, there's things you can tune, but it's going to be a while because it's not the same. It's going to be a while for us to adjust. But I just want to say that we have to prevent the death of the JDM car culture and adapt to what's coming. I know you guys out there, y'all hating on the electrics, but it's coming. Like, I'm already considering having both. Maybe a Tesla will be my daily driver, and then I take my GTR out on the weekends, the gas powered one. But I know over time, if life goes on and civilization continues to change and they start phasing gas power out and electric power takes the scene, or we get maybe hydrogen power cars, some other form of fuel, we have to adapt. But JDM culture must survive. So you guys, I want to hear from you. Do you think the EV apocalypse is going to be the death of JDM car culture? Let us know. Drop a comment. Reach out to us on shadowriders.com. Hey, let us know what you think. So until next time, I am your host, Shadow, aka Shadow Riders Alpha, signing out. This has been another episode of the Shadow Riders Ignitions Radio Show. See y'all in the next one. Peace.
You are now listening to the Shadow Riders Ignitions Radio Show, all about the JDM life.
Shadow Riders, baby.
Hold up. Before I let you go, we got to do the Shadow Riders tradition, the reciting of the Shadow Riders ethos. This is meant to motivate you, inspire you, and form a bond between all of us as Shadow Riders. So here we go. Repeat after me. The Shadow Riders ethos. I will be so strong that nothing can disturb my peace of mind. I will never give up, and I will never accept defeat. I will think only of the best, work only for the best, and expect only the best. I will be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own. I will give so much time to improving myself that I have no time to criticize others. I will be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the persistence of trouble. I will think well of myself and proclaim this fact to the world, not in loud words, but in great deeds. I will always surround myself with people who are faithful, accountable, and teachable. I will bring discipline, momentum, focus, determination, will, and tenacity to every challenge. I will always have the courage to follow my dreams. I will always stay humble and down to earth. I will always be real, straight, and authentic with people. I will never forget where I came from and where my true power is. I will always represent myself and my crew with pride and style. And finally, I will be driven because I am a part of Shadow Riders, and together we are unstoppable. All right, guys, peace and blessings to all of you. I love you. Have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. I will see you next time. And now, let's roll that outro. Peace.
Trying to stop me cause I'm moving too fast. I stay rolling on my grind with my money on my mind cause I'm riding, y'all. I'm riding fast, approaching red line. I'm ready to blow. Ballin' till I'm falling, I ain't trying to move slow. Player, holla at you later.
Yeah, Ricky 10 Shadow Riders, listen. Yo, I'm on the top of the game. Hard body on top of these lanes. Switching gears in the Maserati. Driving insane as fly as can be. Giovanna rim size 23. Shit, I'm as high as can be. Ladies call me handsome. Way before I did the Shadow Riders anthem. Now I'm sitting in the Black Phantom. More than they can handle. I play the ball hard in the car. It's coming out the front panel. What you know about that? But I ain't TIP, I'm RIC. KY, I show you how to stay fly in the daytime. With Shadow Riders on my side, hopping up the G-Ride, I stay live. The boy wonder's not a talk of the town. Toasted up, never boast, yeah, I'm holding it down. Gunning for now, these tough Burger King niggas coming through steady, keeping the crown. While I'm in the fruit punch jag, popping up, riding around. Believe me, dog, this is real as it sounds, shit. Let's go. Hey yo, excuse me y'all, Ricky 10's in the building. And I'm on top like gum stuck to the ceiling. Staying fly, getting dough, such a wonderful thing. And my ice fresh out the cold like I'm into a spring. The game's taking over, yup, like a government sting. Shadow Riders, Ricky 10 with a dangerous team, a dangerous scheme. Everybody feel it in the air, I got the spotlight now when I'm making it clear. Switch your style up, time to ride out now. Or put your hands in the air like the kids scored a touchdown. I get love everywhere that I touch down. So don't be mad when your girl gave me a rub down. I'm coming off the top everywhere that I go. So when they say who's the best, yeah, you already know. Yeah, Shadow, let them know this is more than a game. This is more than music. It's a lifestyle, baby. Fast cars, fast money. You know how we do. It's Ricky 10, Heartbeat Raps, Shadow Riders. It's a dangerous team.